how do you know, or how does that come to you, the plot and the characters and the kind of message that you want to get across? How do you start to formulate that or collect that?
Well, it really depends on what happens, actually. If you have, I can explain one of the stories that will come out this year. I wrote about the shooting in the gay club in Jacksonville in 2016, and when I got the news for that, it was like my initial reaction, because I have someone who's gay who's very, very important to me, and I was like, oh my god, it could have been him. It's not. I know he's not living in Jacksonville. He will never be there. He is not the one.
Yeah.
He's not the one who's dying, and but then I saw like that one picture of a boy. I think it was a black boy, and his grandmother. She posted, I think on Instagram or somewhere, a picture of her grandson, and she said that was my grandson, and he died. My beautiful grandson. He died, and I was like. I was so touched by this. But when I got the information about that this happened, I was actually in Florence on holidays, and I was like in a hostel, and there was a girl next to me. I will never forget that. She was just like browsing through her phone, and oh yeah, there was like a shooting in Jacksonville. Let me have a look. Yeah, oh, some gay people. And I was like, yeah, this is how the information comes to us, right? We don't have any feeling anymore about things like that, because either it's the violence we're used to,
It's normalized.
or that we are like, oh yeah, it's just a gay club. For me, this hit home. It was like very close to my person, actually, and I was like, how can you react like that? And I knew at that time I will write a story, and I will make you hurt. When you read it, you will not think, oh, it was just a shooting. It was like just people I didn't know. It was like, yeah, okay, they're gay. I have nothing to do with gay people. I thought I want to give you the feeling back for what has happened. And that's what I did. I created a story about a person that you get to know, and I know exactly you want to get to know him even more, but he will die. And you will never have the chance to find out who that person was. And then you will see how much it hurts. And that, that was the thought process for that story, actually, how I actually came up with doing it.
Yeah. You mentioned a couple times empathizing with the reader, or trying to provoke a particular emotion in that instance.
Yeah.
How do you keep that in mind as you're creating? Because I think in the work that I do as a facilitator and a designer, ultimately everything that I'm trying to create as an experience or as an offering is really trying to meet a need and meet something fundamental, or respond to an emotion on a really kind of deep level. And I imagine that's similarly to what you're describing as well as a writer.
Yeah.
How's that process for you?
The thing is, first you need to know for yourself, what do you think people lack? What do you think? What do you want to give to people? Because for me, I'm not writing. Of course, I'm happy if you read it and you like what you've been reading and you think about it. But I'm not here to entertain you. Because you can go into a bookshop and take so many books. There are thousands of books that are just there to entertain you, to give you a good time, and then you put it away. You maybe tell your friends about it. It was a good time when you read it, but it's not like it hasn't moved you as a person, right? That's not what I want.
Yeah.
Because I want to give you something valuable. That something of course I can't know whether you will be changed for the rest of your life when you're reading something that I wrote.
Yeah.
But I want to give you something to think about. I want to give you something to make something in your life change or better. Either how you are with people, how you look at the world, how you action yourself, like what you do in the world. actually, I think that I want to show people all of the things that they like to suppress, and they like to just like evade, like in a way. And this is something, you know, you try to evade that you actually or avoid that you actually even know people who could be affected. That it is a horrible thing that someone is having the idea to go with a gun into a club where people actually that are already a minority, they are happy to have a place where they can go to be together without being discriminated. That they go there, and the whole situation was because he planned that for weeks with his wife together. His wife has never informed the police, nothing. She even drove him there so that he go in there, kill people, and she knew he would be probably killing himself. So we don't even have someone to punish the right way for what he did. And I want you to be upset about that. You know, how low are we as people to get there? And you know, I always think about what is actually the crucial thing that I want to give you for a certain kind of story. And if I write something about mental health, for example, what is it that I want to give you? I want to show you you're not alone, but I also want to show the other people, what are you doing? Because, you know, how do you treat people? How can it be that they feel so alone? It's not just all chemicals in our head.
Yeah.
It's also society. How can it be that someone is getting there?
What do you think that crucial point is in your writing? How do you convey? Where does it come along, and how do people access that crucial point, you think? And
I think it's because I forced them to empathize. It's like I don't give you a choice. Because no, it's like as a narrator, you can either be the person that is like God, you know everything that's happening. I tell you something, and it's up to you what you're doing with it.
Right.
I'm not like that. I am, because I somehow I take like the side of someone in this, like in the story. And I want you to understand the side of this person, and
the side as in their point of view.
Their point of view, yeah. I want you to understand the person that you actually usually are not thinking about in a situation like that. And I do not give you a choice. You still can say in the end, okay, it wasn't for me, or like, you learned something, at least how the characters were, like living in that situation, but I do not give you the choice to just get out of it.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way I am writing in general. I force you to be there completely, and if you're not with me in the story, if you do not let me lead you, you will not enjoy it at all.
If you're fighting it, you're gonna hate it.
Yeah.
Don't fight it.
Yeah.
That should be like the preface, Don't fight this. Just enjoy it. Let me take you on a journey.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which I guess is like, I feel like that's kind of what we do with movies. Like, movies are very much, you're gonna go sit there for an hour and a half or 2 hours, and you're not really gonna leave because you've paid $15 or pounds or whatever, and you're just gonna go through it. And you might not like it, but you're gonna see all of it, kind of thing. Unless you're like a few really like good people who just walk the hell out. They don't give a shit, which I
rock, by the way.
Which I love. I do love when people just say like, I'm not gonna waste my time and walk out. But